All right, let's get right into it. For decades, industrial safety has pretty much been about responding to problems after they happen. But what if we could stop them before they even start? In this explainer, we're going to look at how artificial intelligence is completely changing the game. We're talking about moving process safety from just reacting to incidents to actively predicting and even preventing them. It's a massive shift from hindsight to genuine foresight. Just think about that for a second. When an alarm blares in a chemical plant or a refinery, it's not really a warning of a potential problem, is it? It's a signal that a safety barrier has already been breached, a temperature is already too high, a pressure is way out of spec, containment is lost. That sound is basically the last line of defense screaming that a failure is already happening. That is the very definition of reactive safety. And the stakes? They couldn't be higher. We just have to look at disasters like Texas City or Piper Alpha to see the catastrophic potential. Time and time again, investigations show that the root causes are often buried in systemic issues. Poor design, flawed maintenance, and of course, human error. These aren't just random unlucky events. They're the result of weaknesses in the system that, honestly, we've struggled to see until it's way too late. Now, this right here is the core promise of bringing AI into process safety. Imagine, instead of waiting for that alarm, what if you had a system that could analyze millions of data points and tell you, hey, this valve is showing wear patterns that point to a probable failure in the next 72 hours. Or this specific combination of operations is creating a risk we've never even seen before. That is what we mean by safety foresight, the ability to see the hazard before it becomes an incident. Before we dive into the really cool applications, if you're a safety pro who wants to stay ahead of the curve, just take a quick second to like this explainer and subscribe to HSE Study. We're all about bringing you actionable insights you can use in the real world. So where does this whole revolution begin? Well, it starts with the most valuable asset in any facility, the individual worker. AI is stepping in to act as this tireless digital watchdog, focusing on one of the toughest challenges in safety, human error. Look, any EHS manager knows this struggle all too well. Getting consistent use of personal protective equipment, or PPE, is a constant battle. We call it the last line of defense for a reason, right? When every other barrier fails, a hard hat or a pair of safety glasses can be the only thing standing between a worker and a life-changing injury. But people forget. People take shortcuts. So how do you possibly enforce this critical rule 24/7 across an entire site? Well, the answer is a pretty amazing technology called computer vision. In simple terms, we're teaching computers to see and understand the world through a camera, just like a person does. By showing an AI thousands and thousands of images of what's right, a worker wearing a hard hat, and what's wrong, a worker without one, it gets incredibly good at spotting the difference in an instant. And the process itself? It's simple but so powerful. Your existing CCTV camera suddenly becomes smart. The AI is analyzing the video feed in real time. The second it detects a worker in a designated area without the right PPE, boom, it automatically sends an alert to a supervisor's phone or a central dashboard. And this isn't about getting people in trouble. It's about immediate, proactive intervention before an injury has a chance to happen. Okay, now let's zoom out a bit. We're moving from protecting one person to securing the entire work environment. That very same AI-powered vision technology can be used on a much bigger scale, turning a regular work zone into an intelligent, self-monitoring environment. Yeah, we're going way beyond just PPE here. Think about it. You can monitor restricted areas for anyone who isn't supposed to be there. You can instantly detect when a worker slips or falls, so you can send help immediately. You can create these virtual safety bubbles around forklifts that trigger an alert when a pedestrian gets too close. The AI can even monitor worker density to make sure you don't have overcrowding in confined spaces. Every single one of these is tackling a known high-risk scenario before something bad happens. All right, now we're moving up the hierarchy of controls. While protecting workers from hazards is absolutely critical, predicting and preventing the hazards themselves, that's even better. And this is where AI makes one of its biggest impacts, anticipating the failure of safety-critical equipment. This picture really says it all, doesn't it? For years, maintenance has been one of two things. Reactive, we fix it when it breaks. Or time-based, meaning we replace a part every 6 months, whether it needs it or not. Both of these are super inefficient, and more importantly, they leave the door wide open for unexpected and sometimes catastrophic failures. This chart makes the difference crystal clear. Scheduled maintenance is based on a calendar. It's a best guess. Predictive maintenance, on the other hand, is based on actual real-world conditions. By using real-time sensor data, things like vibration, temperature, pressure, the AI develops a deep understanding of the equipment's true health. This means work happens exactly when it's needed, not too early and definitely not too late. That slashes costs and dramatically reduces the risk of a sudden, dangerous breakdown. And hey, this isn't just theory. The numbers prove it. Companies that are putting AI-powered predictive maintenance into practice are seeing equipment downtime drop by up to 45% and maintenance costs cut by up to 30%. I mean, fewer breakdowns means safer operations and a more reliable plant. It's a total win-win for safety and production. So this brings up a great question for all of you watching. Are you seeing this shift in your own workplace? Have you started to implement predictive analytics or other AI tools in your safety or maintenance programs? We'd love to hear about your experiences, so drop a note in the comments below. Okay, so far we've been talking about monitoring the real world. But what about preparing for events that are so rare or so dangerous that you can't possibly practice for them? This is where a really powerful concept comes into play, the digital twin. You can think of it as a virtual crash test dummy for your entire facility. Now, a digital twin isn't just some static 3D model. It is a living, breathing virtual replica of your plant. It's connected through IoT sensors that are constantly feeding it real-time data. It perfectly mirrors the exact state of your equipment, your processes, and your environment at any given moment. And this is where the safety potential just explodes. With a digital twin, you can train your operators on a full-scale plant shutdown without any real-world risk. You can simulate a hazardous chemical release and test your emergency response and evacuation plans to find the flaws. You can even run all kinds of what-if scenarios to uncover hidden process hazards that you would never find otherwise. It is, without a doubt, the ultimate risk-free training and planning tool. Okay, let's pull all of these threads together. We've seen AI protecting individual workers, securing entire work zones, predicting equipment failures, and even giving us a virtual world for training. The common theme through all of this is a fundamental shift in how we approach safety management. For way too long, safety has focused on the very top of this pyramid, the accidents, the incidents. We investigate what went wrong after it's already happened. But AI lets us operate down here at the base of the pyramid. It helps us see the unsafe behaviors, the system failures, and the cultural issues that create the conditions for an accident long before it ever happens. We're finally moving from just investigating failures to actually preventing them. This totally changes how we measure success. We're moving away from relying only on lagging indicators, things like incident rates, which are just measures of past failures. AI empowers us to track leading indicators. These are the proactive measures that actually predict future performance. Think about tracking the number of near misses reported, or the percentage of safety-critical tasks completed on time, or those PPE compliance rates we talked about. These are the numbers that show you how strong your safety barriers are before they get tested by a real event. You know, when you boil it all down, AI gives us the tools to stop managing safety by looking in the rearview mirror. It lets us analyze real-time data, spot emerging risks, and build a proactive, predictive roadmap for a safer future. Safety is no longer just a record of what went wrong. It's a dynamic strategy for what will go right. And that really leaves us with one final thought for you to consider. Take an honest look at your own organization's safety program. Is it built around reacting to incidents and analyzing the past? Or are you building the capabilities and the culture you need to predict and prevent the failures of the future? If you found this explainer valuable, please do us a favor and give it a like, and be sure to subscribe to the HSE Study YouTube channel. We're committed to providing top-notch training on OSHA, process safety, and workplace safety that helps you protect lives. Thanks so much for watching.